This season, we're taking a home that was outdated and barely functional and turning it into our client's dream home. All right, so the sheetrock is up, texture is on the walls, cabinets are here and going in. But you know, when you come through, you can now see the open concept of how the house looks. Okay, we're about done with the closets, but we still gotta do something with those beams. You know, we were gonna originally just paint them. I don't think that's gonna cut it. We really gotta modernize this house.
Smile. You woke up in Texas, one of the fastest growing states in the country. Meet Jim Dutton.
Tools make the job. It ain't a good day till we tear something up.
Contractor and syndicated radio show host.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Along with the Texas Home Improvement team.
Oh, look how beautiful it is.
Here to show you how to get the job done right and protect you from out-of-state bootleg contractors.
And that's what you get when you hire a bootleg contractor.
This is Texas Home Improvement.
This Forever Home project is moving right along as we continue to check all the boxes to make this home exactly what the homeowners want. Now today, we'll tape, float, texture, and tomorrow we'll be putting in cabinets. Okay, we're done with the tape and float. Now, let's move on to texture. All right, we're in the new laundry room, utility room, whichever you want to call it. And you know, it's so much larger than the old one. First, the opening has been opened up. I mean, you can see how small, it just had a regular doorway before. And this is where the wall was before. Pushed it into the old office, opened everything up where now they can not only do the laundry in here, but also the folding and ironing and whatever else they want to take care of. This has really turned into a great space. You know, when it comes to cabinet making, it's all in the details of the cuts. And the details go well beyond the cuts though. How you get stuff delivered to keep it from being damaged is every bit as important as how they detail putting it together. Because you get a great cabinet being brought in and damaged, it's useless when you try to put it together and the lines don't match. So it's important who builds it, how they build it, and then the details of putting it all together. Now, hanging cabinets on the walls, you can see that line straight up and down. That's so that the cabinets are vertical when you stand there and look at it. And it's got to be mounted into studs. Every once in a while, you'll catch somebody not hitting a stud. That's not a good move. And then, of course, hauling them in, you know, like we said, details in everything. Now this particular cabinet's upside down because that was the safest way to haul it. And I always talk about this. The tools make the job. Where have you been able to see a tool that is this easy to cut through sheetrock? I mean, we a lot of times use box cutters, but when it comes time to really following the lines and doing the details, you want more than just a box cutter for something like this. You want a tool that can easily cut through everything and quickly. Now notice, the box cutter is still doing the final cut through the paper. And beyond doing everything else, you got to make sure that everything is in place and ready for the install. Now, this particular tool will do more than just cut through sheetrock. Look at how easy it's going through these panels as well. That's wood that it's cutting, and you're not having to use a saw blade. I mean, this is a great tool, and like I say, tools make the job. So, you know, when you're getting ready to do this kind of work, this is why you hire the professionals instead of trying to do it out in your shop. You're just not going to have all these things available. Now, these particular cabinets are actually going to be painted instead of finished. So you'll notice there's different colors and grains and stuff. You really don't have to worry about that when you're painting a cabinet versus doing a stain finish on it. You know, when you're setting cabinets in place, one of the things you want to do, especially if you're going all the way to the ceiling, is have it as close as possible when you're setting it up. Granted, you're going to be able to cover the rest with trim, but it's always good to have that extra cabinet space. Every inch can count when you're trying to put things away in these cabinets. Now, setting up a cabinet like this, the height can make a huge difference. Look how close we got to get to the ceiling bringing this up, and that's the reason you can't really have it go all the way to the ceiling. And in some cases, you actually put a little platform under the cabinet after you've got it upright and set it right up on top of that cabinet. All right, so the sheetrock is up, texture is on the walls, cabinets are here and going in. But you know, when you come through, you can now see the open concept of how the house looks, and that makes it more useful for the homeowner, because the big problem was they weren't using all the space they had because it was so chopped up. And this kitchen now, it's been widened out. This is going to be a much more functional kitchen for them. And then we still have the office over here and the pantry over here. This truly has become the home of their dreams. All right, so we got our lowers, we got our upper cabinets in, and you know, the nice thing about using custom cabinets like this, you get to detail things out, like a space here for spice racks, things like that. And we've got other spaces in here for spice racks as well. A little cabinet that pulls out that you can keep all spices on and stuff. And some of the things I love is drawers to pull out for pots and pans. You know, you think it's easy to reach into a cabinet to get it, but I'm telling you, there's nothing easier than a pull-out drawer for pots and pans. All right, the space that's being worked on now is where the dishwasher is going to go. And you remember, we had an issue where you couldn't open the dishwasher before without hitting the refrigerator. That dishwasher is still basically in the same spot. That's how much wider this kitchen is now. All right, they're setting the last of the cabinets now. This is going to be the island cabinet, and basically it's going right in the middle of the kitchen, but it's going to give a huge amount of storage. Look inside, you can see where all the drawer slides are and stuff. This really adds a lot of storage space to this kitchen. All right, we've got to secure this cabinet in place. So in order to do that, we're going to drill a hole, drive these nails through the 2x4, which will anchor it into place, into the concrete, and then we can secure the cabinet to the 2x4. This new island, it's going to absolutely transform this kitchen. All right, so this is where our vent hood goes. Now, we had to do some reframing up here in order to get the vent hood in right, because it used to go up and angle over and then back up. Eliminated all that. It's a nice straight shot now. Now, when it comes to your hood vent, or even if it's in a microwave type vent, you know, you got a choice of recirculating the air back in. It goes through a charcoal filter or whatever and blows back in, or taking it out. My personal preference is to always take it out, get it out of the living space. You know, when you recirculate it, it's always got grease and stuff mixed into it, and it's always harder to maintain it and keep it up. This really is the right way to do it. The cabinets in the kitchen are in. Now it's time to move into the pantry. Now that all the cabinets are installed, it's time to tie it all together and get the crown molding installed.
I'm Jason with DFW Improved, and I'm gonna show you the easy way to cut crown. A lot of people like to lay the crown flat. You end up beveling your saw this way, you turn it this way. It gets really confusing, gets a lot of pain in the butt to do it. Easy way to do it is, let me get this squared up real quick. You imagine the bottom of your saw here as the ceiling. This rail here as your wall. So you actually end up cutting your crown upside down and backwards. So my first piece of crown is 12 inches. Make that mark. And then I roll it to where it's gonna sit on the wall. Just like that, nice and tight on that wall, nice and tight on the ceiling right there. You just bring the saw down, and you got your piece of crown. It'll sit like that.
All right, we're getting ready to do the painting on the cabinets, but before you can do the painting, you got to do the prep work, and the caulking and everything. That's where it's at, because that seals everything, and you can see this section here has been caulked already. Gives you a nice finished look. Over here where it hasn't been caulked, it looks like you still got work to do, and you do. And so the guys who are doing the caulking, they make or break the job, because the painting, it doesn't take all that long. It's all in the prep work. So if you're getting ready to do a project, don't get in too big a rush to do what you're going to see in the end, because if you didn't prep it, the end's not going to look good. Now, all these cabinets don't have to be built off-site. This particular cabinet is being built on-site, and this is going into our mudroom closet. And, you know, again, attention to details and the tools make the difference on how quick and easy you can build this. But we're going to build this cabinet, set it into place, and not have to worry about it again. The little staple holes you see and stuff, they can all be covered with putty before this cabinet gets finished off. And again, you're painting it, so you don't have to worry about the grains and what you cover the little brad holes with and such. Now here we're cutting in order to recess the little cabinet we just made into the finished product, and then it can be detailed around it. You see up top there, that's the cabinet that we just saw being made, and now we're just putting in some decorative supports to make it look great. Well, let's head in and see how things are going. John, how's it going today?
Good, sir.
Well, what do we got going on in here?
So we took out a closet, we put in a bench for the kids to sit on, they can work on their homework and such. We made a bookshelf for up here so they can store either books or anything. We got some shelving across the sides.
Do kids still use books? I thought it's all on
Laptops.
computers and iPads now.
But then we put some shelving down the side for some extra storage. You can see they got plugs down here so they can plug in their computers or their tablets.
Things, yep.
They can charge them. Put some corbels up just to add some decoration to it. We got some, trimmed it out nice and pretty here, and then we'll add some coat hooks just so they can hang their sweatshirts and coats up.
So are you going to have to do all the caulking on this?
No, sir.
Oh, that's
the
good,
painter.
because that's going to be a pain in the butt, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
A lot of intricacies going on in here.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, how much you got left to do?
Just finishing up some of this corner trim, and then I'll be done in here.
Perfect. All right, well, we'll let you get back to work. Okay, we're about done with the closets, but we still got to do something with those beams. We were going to originally just paint them. I don't think that's going to cut it. We really got to modernize this house. That means getting with John to see what we can do with these beams. Hey, John, the homeowner has some beams in the living room over here. Doesn't really like them. He wants to modernize the house a little bit. Can you take a quick look with me?
Yes, sir.
All right, here's the beams we're dealing with. And you can see they're pretty 80-ish looking, and he just wants to modernize it a little bit. What do you think we can do?
Well, I'll show you.
Okay.
I think what we can do is take this trim off,
Yep.
and then we can wrap these beams in MDF,
Uh-huh.
and then fur the smaller beams out and make them wider to match the same size as this one,
Okay.
and then paint them all white.
That sounds good. Yeah, that'll really bring it back up to modern times again.
And then the other thing I would do is I would actually make sure that we don't, to keep interference with the lights,
Right.
is fur these beams out each way.
Okay.
And split the difference on each side whenever we make them wider.
All right, yeah, that way they're all balanced with where they are right now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we got a lot of work done today, but with just 3 weeks left to go, we gotta stay pushing to get this project done on time and looking fantastic.
Next week on Texas Home Improvement.
All right, the remodel project is moving right along. The kitchen cabinets are in, but it's really time we gotta get started on the shelves in the other rooms. Hey, got a question during the week? Go to our website, thipro.com, and click on the Ask Jim button. If you're looking for a great contractor, one that'll treat you fair and get the job done right, go to thipro.com and take a look at the contractors in your area that I've already checked out. Don't forget to listen to Texas Home Improvement every Saturday and Sunday right here in Houston on News Talk 740 KTRH. Okay, which one was I reading? Oh, there we go. Now that all the cabinets are installed, it's time. Nah, I didn't like that. All right, the project's moving right along. I keep my eyes open.
Just go wild.
I think it was Vincent Price. Who's Alfred Hitchcock? It's more Alfred Hitchcock with the... Hey, to see more episodes like this, go to our website, thipro.com, and while you're there, there's a whole list of contractors like Stone Age Granite, who did the... Had it going right, too. Hey, to see more episodes like this, go to our website, thipro.com, and while you're there, take a look at the list of contractors. They're there to help you out, like Stone Age Granite, who did the granite installation, and... Hey, see, that's...
So we converted a closet and we put some beadboard up. We built a bench here, or a bench. With the bench.
Yeah, them kids are gonna look mighty funny sitting up there.
So we converted the.
We're gonna start over.
Yeah. I'm sorry. This is.
I apologize ahead of time. That'll probably make the blooper reel.
Don't. Those are my favorite.
That was good though.